Hi mga amigs, for today's video, as usual, nice ang day. Unya, tugnaw na siya. So muna nakabonita. As usual po, nagbaklay ko diri nga side. Unya, na-amaze kay ko sa mga chikiting mga amigs kay mag-ato sila sa forest mo nila activity, mga cute kayo mo ni akong gibidyohan sila, no? Kay padulong sila sa forest. Unya, karon kay autumn naman lagi. So na-amaze gyud ko sa color. Ganahan gyud kay ko basta October mga amigs kay autumn na siya dire, then mag-change ang mga color. Makita ninyo mga mix, o diba, nag-color-color. Mix ang color sa mga dahon. So, mo ni dire ang autumn, mo ni ang naka-nice dire sa Norway. Unya karon kay napaman ko enough time. So, mo ni ganahan ko video-video kay na-miss kaayo ko. Char lang. Bitaw dayon. As usual, na ako sa train. Nagtanaw ko sa ako ang train kung sa oras maabot dito sa amo ang school. Unya naminaw pod ko sa ako ang The Journey. Mao man gyud na akong music permanente, one and only ra gyud na sa ako ang phone ang The Journey by Lea Salonga. Char. Unya nagtan-aw din ko sa tubig, calm kaayo ang tubig, o diba? Pero as you can see mga amigs, na ay kanang construction nga nahitabo kay ilahang padungagan ang railway diri sa Drammen. So mo na karon nga nami diri sa tulay unya na kita na ko ang mga forest dito sa unahan nga nag-change lagi ang color mo, nakaingon yung kog magic. Bisan pa og kuan amegs mo ingon yung kog magic, maignorante paghihapon ko diri nga side, no, pero grabe ka amazing ang Ginoo. Kay ingon ani di ay ang outside world ha. Murag naa sa Mars bitaw. So mao na ni karon mga amegs, nag sakay na mi og bus kay padulong na mi sa all this church nga mga i-visit. So ang bus napuno siya tungod sa amo kay daghan kayo mi niya akong amiga, tired ay siya mo na nagpiyong-piyong siya. Unya kay sunny day man, nice ang weather. So mo ni among gidangatan, chika-chika ginagmay, o diba? Unya karon ang tan-aw ko sa kuan, first time pud nako ni diri nga other part, no, kay dako man gyud ang Norway. So mo na nga nagvideo-video pud ko sa karsada. Kaya ron, nagupong naiingnon mga megs bitaw. So mo ni naabot na din mi sa among destination, o busy ang mga classmate, o chika diri, chika dito, grupo diri, grupo dito. So na-miss kay ko sa entrance sa ilang building, o diba? Mo ni amo ang gidangatan karon. Well, naghulat mi sa amo ang teacher, kaya ang teacher namo nagbayad siya sa amo ang entrance. Nakigistorya pod siya, o. Unya mo na akong friend nga Nepali ni siya, si Amrita. Oh. Hi, Ems! Kumusta? Char. First time na ko na siya nakita. Gibinisaya, gitagalog na ko na siya. Karon kay, gitubag ko niyag, sorry, I don't understand. Oh, diba? Di ka basta-basta mag-istorya-storya. So, mo ni karon nga, pa-entrance na mi, kay magbaklaya mi niya, nami tour guide. So, mo ni, among gidangatan. Oh, baklay-baklay diri. Kay baklay mo gid, baklay is life mo gid diri. Unya, kanang kay padulong lagi mi ani sa katong church lagi nya na-miss kay ko kay nakaagi mi aning the Bethlehem, o diba, naslay Bethlehem diri nga side, o napod sila yung mga kanang mapa nya karon kay unahan pa man amo ang kanang ang church. So mo na din ni karon ang church, as you can see mura siya og Japan style, diba, na-miss kay mi, pero old church na dai daw ni. So mo ni nga mo ni among i-visit karon, mo ni nga mosulod mi diha nga church. O diba, amazing kayo siya, gi-preserve nila ni nga simbahan. Until now naa pa siya gihapon para himuon lang tourist attraction, pero nice gyud kayo. Unya karon maminaw ta og unsa gyud ang hinungdan og nganong naa ni nga church. Kay naaman mi tour guide, so mo ni naka-advantage kay makabalot ta og makabalot ta og unsa gyud ni dire, mga informative kaayo ba nga tumabalan. Kay syempre sa pagkakaron, o diba, ang building rabaya malingaw beta picture, pero gusto po nato nga balan og unsa gyud ang iyang history. So for now, maminaw ta.
Yes. Okay, so there's actually, have you seen it in person or just in pictures?
Also once.
Okay, because the thing is that this stave church is originally from Gol Stave, and that is about an hour drive outside of Oslo. And the thing is about that church that is standing there today is a replica of this one. This is the original one we have. And about a third of the wood is the original wood from the 1200s. It's dated to 1238 about. And The reason that this church has well, it's a bit dramatic, first of all, but the thing is that since only a third of the church is original, that third, we have two different theories about how we came to come upon them. The first one being that the King Oscar II, which was the Swedish king we had under Sweden-Norway, he actually curated the whole collection we have on top of this hill. So both the houses you see behind you guys, as well as the two front ones we walked straight past on the way to the church, those are all curated from that king. This collection stood up when this church was finalized, as you can see restituted, 1885. You can test me, I am 100% sure it says 1885. But with that, the collection stood up and the museum opened for the first time with this collection showing. So it's been standing here a long time. And the thing is that since he was the king is the king, he can do as he's pleasing. So he bought a third of the church from Gol Hallingdal. And that is the third that we have today. The other theory we have is that the original Stave church was rotten, it was horrible condition, and we could only manage to save about a third of the wood. And with that, that is something we can see particularly well in the examples of the church that is standing in Gol is a replica. And when it came to the museum, the reason that we believe we only saved a third of it is because we didn't have any idea how the original church was supposed to look like. And mainly because, again, the king was the king, and he wanted the big, beautiful stave churches. And Gol Hallingdal Stave Church wasn't that at all. And because of this, he put up the stave church in the image of another one from Boligun, which is actually the beautiful big stave churches, beautifully decorated with multiple designs and symbols that you can see today on the front. But the inside is the original one from Gol. And that symbolizes, for example, the crosses. They're actually not supposed to represent Christianity in that belief. They're actually just warning symbols as well as symbols to kind of protect. That came before Christianity implied the whole meaning of the crosses. As well as these gargoyles or kind of demon-like figures that are horizontal on the second and third level are actually supposed to ward off evil spirits and the devil himself. With that, if you look at the church in general, the shape of it looks kind of like the front of a boat. And the two kind of figurines that look either like dragon, ship tails, or horses that are pointing towards you guys at the top, those are actually one of the main theories that compromises that the churches themselves are supposed to look like upwards facing Viking ships. And the front of the Viking ship is actually what you're seeing pointing towards you guys. With that, I opened the stave church for us, so if you want to, you can come inside. There are benches, we will have a good time. Again, there are benches along all the walls. If anybody wants to sit down, you can. And for those of you that entered that aren't a part of the tour, you're welcome to sit around, but I have to close up the doors when we leave, so you'll have to leave then as well. For those of you that are standing, please don't lean against the big columns, mainly because some of them have beautiful paintings, as you can see, that we are trying to preserve. So please don't touch them. What?
The wooden and picture style, how they are joined together. Really?
Yes, that is actually another technique like the one we have in the house in front of this church, where you put one piece of lumber on top of each other and then it breaks into the corners. You chop up the wood when it's finished built and to make sure all the little pieces of lumber are the equal sizes. And that is in Norwegian called lofting. But this stave church, the reason why it's called a stave church is because of these beautiful columns that you can see in the middle of the room. There are 8 of them. I have a big flashlight. I'm sorry if I put it in anyone's eyes. It's a big one, so I'm sorry. But these columns are actually called staves. And it comes from the pagan language, from the Norse language of stafach. In Norwegian, they're called stavach, so that's why it's similar. And that's why they're called stave churches, because the whole construction stands upon these staves. So for those of you that can't see it, it lets in a lot of light, but it's also adorned with beautiful medals that are supposed to symbolize everything from the Viking era as well as beautiful decorations. You can also see it from outside. You'll probably see it better there. But this door is actually, in good old fashion, into the Stave Church. And on the north wall, we have the 4 evangelists. They're all symbolized with their different kind of biblical texts to kind of showcase which is which. Or you could just read the names. Kind of depends on your preference. But we have St. Lucas with a bull. We have St. Johannes with an eagle. We have St. Marcus with a lion. And St. Matthäus with an angel. And later in time, it goes into the curved wall. And how many people of you have seen this painting before? Probably none of you.
Yeah.
Yes, it's probably the most depicted painting in religious beliefs ever. And because the Last Supper was painted in the 1500s, everything takes a long time to come all the way up north. So it's painted long after the 1500s. Who the painter is, we have no idea. But what we know is who paid for this. And that is this family right here, this family right here, this family right here, this family right here, that one as well. And they are, of course, praised. But the original painter and artist, we have no idea who it is. We don't even have a clue as guessing who it could be. And with that, you can probably tell that there's this big black line all the way along the whole mural. And that is actually to showcase that this church was moved, and we kind of put it up wrong. Mainly because the choir where I'm standing right now actually is supposed to be much wider. But we shortened it for showcasing the mural, and because of that, there is almost a meter of this. If you don't use the metric system, I'm sorry. But there is almost a meter of distance from the south and north wall into the curved one. And that is also something you can see on the kind of height of it as well. It looks like there are missing pieces. Something has been painted on later in time. The door isn't supposed to go there. We don't know who she is. So yeah, there are many different parts of this church that just is a guessing game. One of them, for example, being these graffiti scribbles that have been tagged into the wall. Because of course we had pranksters during the Middle Ages. And they are scribbled before this mural came, and then we chalked them back in to make sure we could see them. And there are dogs and animals such as sheep as well as horses. We have human faces as well as masks. But the thing that is most significant is this strip of runic scripture right here. Again, where I'm standing is where the priest would stand, only wants to speak and write in Latin. Right here is actually written in runic scriptures. How we know that is because there are no curved lines, just straight ones. And it is actually written in the language of Latin, but with runes. And it's saying, in a very dramatic and difficult way, I was here. And that is actually the most known kind of graffiti we have from the Middle Ages. Is people writing that they have made something, they was here, I wrote this in, and writing their name, and yeah. So they just wanted to be preached. With that, if I can get to this second stave right here, it's the last. There is a nail. Hopefully, most of you can see it.
Yes.
And where I'm standing on the north side, because I'm a woman, is where, of course, the women would stand. And there used to be hanging a picture of Virgin Mary right here. And right here, there is a strip of runic scripture again. So right here. And it says on a very old dialect, "Kiss me because I'm hurting so much." Showcasing to either be a preach from a woman that was hurting. She went through her beliefs instead of being shamed, probably in the public, if she were to go with her problems outwards, but then chose to go to her saints for help. The other belief we have is that it was a young girl very much in love with a boy standing over there. And
So informative kayo siya mga ameg. So mao ni among gidangatan pagkahuman dayon kay gusto lagi mig na remembrance o nag-picture nag-video o di ba muramig mga throw ani nga side re. Na wala lang nalingaw lang mi kay informative kayo siya. And that's it. This is Yumi Yums. Thanks for watching.